Alright guys, welcome back to a segment I like to call What Would They Think? And recently, about a week ago, I did a vid about, talking about what would the, Crystal Gems from Steven Universe think of the Ninja Turtles. Now, before I go any further, for those who don't know what this segment is really about, it's really about just not so much a fight video, but more like what would one character think of the other if they were to ever cross paths in any situation. And this time, and I haven't done them in a while, so that's why I'm kind of doing, this time, 3 more. Yes, I'm doing 3 in a row, because I haven't done them in a while, and they're really fun to do. And this time around, I haven't done something, and this is something also, this is the same segment that the Mount Vernon kid does on his channel, and I don't think neither of us have done this before. I'm going to be doing 3 videos on this segment of what would each villain think of one another. So yeah, we're going to kick things off with a really interesting meeting of 2 villains, and that is, what would Smaug from The Hobbit think of Larfleeze from Green Lantern? Now obviously they would never meet, but what would happen if these 2, very greedy characters ever met one another? Now, I could see it that maybe one of Larfleeze's rings detects greed and flies all the way to Middle-earth and encounters Smaug. Now, before you're probably thinking, well, Smaug can't be an Orange Lantern, he's a dragon. To which I respond with, Mogo is a planet. I mean, if a planet can become a Green Lantern, why can't a dragon become an Orange Lantern? I mean, we've seen a robot become a member of the Sinestro Corps. We've seen all kinds of crazy... We've even seen a cat become a Red Lantern. So why can't a dragon be... and I think Smaug could easily qualify as an Orange Lantern. If there hasn't been, a fan art of Orange Lantern Smaug, there needs to be, a fan art frenzy of Orange Lantern Smaug, because he certainly qualifies for being an Orange Lantern. Anyway, so what would happen... So, basically... Larfleeze not wanting one of his rings to be to leave, every ring belongs to him. He would chase after it, find his way to Smaug's Smaug's hole, and Smaug would encounter this little goblin-like creature. I think he would actually think it's a goblin. Like, what the hell are you? You look like a goblin, but you smell different, and your clothes are all funny. And Larfleeze would just be yelling like, "Give it back! Give it back! Give it back!" Sorry, I'm drinking some soda as I'm doing this. But yeah, like I said, Larfleeze would just be yelling and shouting, like, give it back, and Smaug would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Even if I did take something from you, you're not getting it back, it's mine now. And I don't think a fight would ensue. I think Larfleeze would look at all the stuff, all the gold and jewels and crystals and gems that Smaug has in his collection and be like, well, I want this now. I want it. Smaug's like, you're not getting it. And probably a fight would ensue, which I don't even want to speculate on who would win on that fight. We're not here to talk about fighting, per se. We're more like, we're not here to discuss who would win in a fight, but more like, what would one character think of the other. So, yeah. Anyway, so... I think Larfleeze would be very interested, I think he would be very curious to know how a big talking lizard would somehow get a hold of all this precious gold and just want it for the sake of wanting it, and why would a ring choose a big lizard to be part of his core? And to which Smaug would be like, I don't care, it's mine. I think he wouldn't want to be part of the Orange Lantern Corps. I think it would be more like he would just keep the ring for the sake, because it's his now. It's in his hole. It's in his little golden den in the Erebor treasure room. It's his now. You're not getting it back. So yeah, this would be a very interesting one because they're both very greedy characters. I don't know what they could talk about really, because both of them have so much greed in their hearts, and they have a lot of strength and just raw power surging within them. And Smaug's a lot smarter than Larfleeze. Larfleeze don't get me wrong, Larfleeze is intelligent, but his he's been kind of secluded in his own, den for so long. He's kind of really lost it. He's more like mine. He can have his smart moments, but, living that long alone can really fuck with your head. So, Smaug, even though he's greedy and will easily snap into his whole raging monster spasm, he has his intelligence still there, so I don't know if Smaug and Larfleeze would really hit it off. I mean, it would just be cool to see them compare their gold. I mean, well, gold in the sense that Smaug's gold and Larfleeze's collection of Orange Lantern rings and the Orange Lantern battery itself, which I'm pretty sure the second Smaug saw the Orange Lantern battery, he would be like, I want it. So, yeah, this would be definitely this would be very interesting to see these two encounter one another. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, you guys tell me, what do you guys think would happen if Smaug and Daenerys, I almost said Daenerys, which would also be very cool to see Smaug and Daenerys encounter one another, but that's for another time. But what do you think Smaug and Larfleeze would be, what do you think a encounter between Smaug and Larfleeze be like? And do you think Smaug would be chosen to be an Orange Lantern? And what do you think that would look like? Because I personally think Orange Lantern Smaug would be 12 kinds of badass, I'm just saying. Anyway, guys, so stay tuned for the next two, because like I said, I'm doing 2 more of these villain versions of What Would They Think? And yeah, stay tuned.